Hey, Lawrence here, auctionthekeys.com. Just want to talk to you a little bit about auctionthekeys.com. It's actually not an auction, say, for property. It's for property. It's for listed properties, but it's actually by you using our technology, we supply the funding for the property. So we're not actually auctioning properties. We're more or less giving you funding for people, especially if you don't have capital and stuff like that. You don't need any capital for this. I, in the past, have been, I flipped a few houses and all, and basically never have enough capital to kind of, there's always some wealthy person that outbids me in an auction for property. So, and I don't have that kind of money. So basically what I did was I took that concern, and for people who don't have the funding, just like I never did, this technology helps put everybody on an even playing field. So the wealthiest man may not be the winner, because the max spend on this technology, on the, for the session of property, basically is $1,000. So everybody has an equal opportunity to bid and win the property. So the thing is it's more strategy and making sure you kind of use the best strategy you can to win the property, and the highest bidder is the winner. There's a beginning phase, which is where the max bid is for the first phase. So if the max bid is $100 or $350 or $2,000, that phase is almost like an entry phase, okay? So you can only bid once in there to kind of get into the system. The final bidding is the second phase, which has 3 phases in it. First one is a 2-hour phase every 2-minute increments. The second one is a 2-hour phase with 30-second increments, and the third phase is increments of 10 seconds. And chances are, for the most part, for most of the time, it probably will never go the full 5 hours. Because in order to be able to get bids in, there's going to be several different things. Okay, so one, just say if there is enough bidders to bid all the way through to 5 hours, if there was a bid every every seconds, there would be 18,000 bidders. Okay, but the thing is there's also congestion. Okay, when congestion happens, and everybody's bidding at the same time and the bid can't go through, that means it may not go through for 30 seconds or for 10 seconds. And then that would end that bidding process. So then if that was the case, then it wouldn't go the whole 5 hours. Even if it was congested enough towards the end of the 2 minutes that the 2-minute increment didn't get to go, then it wouldn't go even for the first 2 hours. So, there's a whole lot of different things here. There's going to be time clocks up top and stuff like that, so you can kind of see where it goes. There's also going to help out, which will kind of give you a hand up over others, is free bids. You'll be able to get some free bids by sharing our technology, about our technology, with others. If you sign up and you get a link, there's affiliate links. You can, for every 5 people that you share it with, you get a free bid. So, you know, if you share it with a lot of people, you can get a lot of free bids. You know, and that will track whether, you know, when you, it's not just sharing it, but it's sharing it and then people signing up. So basically, if they don't sign up, then you're not going to get the coupons. You have to share it and, you know, have them sign up to verify that you actually shared it, you know, and that's all tracked through the system. So, you know, you can get free bids, and that's unlimited. You can get unlimited free bids, unlimited sharing, you know. Now the thing is you can only do 5 free bids per property. Okay, now that can be on certain properties. We may allow more if they're larger properties, like if the property is worth $1.5 million or something. That there's a lot of bids available, so you know, might let some more bids go out. But anyway, there's 5 bids per property, and you can only use them, the free bids. There's 1 for every 10 cash bid. So basically, you know, if you hit the bid, it might just say, you know, try again, because basically there might not be enough cash bids if everybody's using the free bids. You know, so there's going to be a lot of different strategies here. You're going to want to, like, for instance, when you punch in your bid to buy, you're going to want to time that to see how long it takes for the bid to go through, because that's another strategy. Okay, so you know, if it's going to take you 30 seconds for the bid to go through, well, then you're going to have to put your bid in 30 seconds before the end of the bid. If it takes 2 seconds, well, then you got a fast computer system with good Wi-Fi and everything else. Well, then, you know, you can get your bid in later. But the thing is you want to make sure that you get your bid in, and you know, your strategy is not to be putting bids in when there's already bids in for that increment. But you also have to remember, if that increment doesn't finish because of congestion or because your bid takes too long to go through, well, then there you go. Then it ends the whole thing. And then, you know, so you're really going to have to use strategies that will help. And you have to figure it out over time. So you have the possibility of the first $20 bid of going in to enter, and then with some free bids, you know, if you had 5 free bids, and then you had another paid bid. So basically, you know, because the free bids you can't use in the last hour of phase 3. So now if the bids don't go to phase 3, you might win on a free bid. Who knows? But the thing is the last hour, that's just all cash bids. So basically, it doesn't allow it to go all the way to the end with, you know, somebody with a lot of free bids. So, you know, it's kind of like that's how that goes. You know, it's trying to be fair for everybody. But the thing is like I said, this gives people with no capital, no job, no credit, it gives you an opportunity to be able to get a piece of property, and a big piece of property. Now you got to remember, you know, if you're bidding on properties that are $1.5 million, and you don't have a job, you're probably going to have to sell it or something like that, because the taxes on it every year are going to be pretty significant, right? So, I mean, you know, so if you bid on the cheaper properties, then, you know, you might be able to afford the taxes. Or you just might be doing this just to buy and sell properties, you know, and to just dump them off and make some money. I mean, that's possible too. I mean, it's your property. You'll be able to do whatever you want with it. But what I'm doing this for is so that people can get an opportunity without having to worry about all the wealthiest people being able to win these properties in auctions all the time. You know, it kind of gets a little distressing, and it's like, you know, I don't have that kind of money to continually go up against the big guys. So this helps the little guy be able to do some of that. Okay. And then also in this here, there'll be lots of ways, like I said, to get free bid coupons. And there'll be, just registering. You'll get a free bid. Just, stuff like that. There'll be all kind of different ways. So that'll be something to think about. And then just remember, any properties that you win, you only have 7 days to claim. Okay, and it goes to 4 runner-ups after that, and each runner-up has 3 days to claim. So you have to claim that property within 7 days. If you don't, it goes to the first runner-up, second runner-up, third runner-up, fourth runner-up, and then after that it's forfeited. Okay, and then 50% will go to the charity, and then the other 50% goes to the developer for building the technology. Okay, so this here also gives you the opportunity, if you don't like the property that's listed, because we aren't auctioning properties. So if you don't like the property that's listed, say if you're in California and you win a bid on a property in Delaware, okay, and you don't want that property in Delaware because you're in California. Well, if you have a property that's actually listed, it has to be listed, okay? So basically, if you have a property that's actually listed, you can swap it equal or less value, okay? It doesn't have to be, you can't go more, but equal or less value, you can switch that property to that. Now, the thing is we're only funding what that listed price is. If there's like tons of liens and everything else, I mean, we will pay the normal taxes, transfer fees, and all that stuff. But if there's like liens that are way more than the value of the property that you're purchasing, that's not covered. And, basically, so if you're going to switch the property, make sure that it's a good property to switch to. You might want to call the realtor first and just verify that things are kosher with it. Other than that, that's what really makes this great, is because you can be anywhere in the country, and it doesn't really matter if you're bidding on this property, or not, because the property that's going to be listed is the property that we're going to do. But the thing is you have the opportunity to switch it to any property that you want to that's equal or less value. So if there's a place around the corner from you and you're like, you know what, I'd rather have this property than that property, and it's listed, then that's fine. Then we just switch it, the funding, to that property. And it does all the same thing as long as it's equal or less value. All right, so so the thing also too is you have to realize these are listed properties, and we don't own the properties. We're not a real estate or a broker or anything like that. So basically, we don't own these properties. We have no control over it. But if these properties were to sell prior to the auction being complete, then we have backup properties that are in our listings, and it would just automatically go to that property in the listing, or unless you had something else that you had in mind, which, you still have to remember, we are not auctioning properties. We don't own these properties. We have nothing to do with them, and we won't have anything to do with them. That's not what we do. So the thing is you're using our technology, and that's what you're paying for. And, what we're doing is we are providing you with funds for a property because you're using our technology. So when you press that button, it's non-refundable 100%, because you're paying to use the technology to press that button. So everything is 100% non-refundable. So you can't just hit the button and think it's well, if I don't win, I'll try to get my money back. That doesn't work, because you're actually using our technology, and that's what you're paying for. We are just helping fund properties for people that are using our technology. Okay, so the thing is like I said, I've been out there with these, people all the time that just way overbid, have lots more money than you. And this is the way that people without money, without capital, have the potential to own some property. And you actually can own some property for as little as $40. If you have a bunch of free bids and you can use 5 free bids on a property, you got a good chance of actually winning a property for $40. So we're actually like $100, let's say. But because it's $20 to get in the first phase, and then $20 you'll be bidding in the final phase, and then you can use your 5 free bids through the other phases. So it's kind of like you actually have the potential to do that. Now, the minimal amount of bids needed for these properties, some of these properties to go through, is if you figure it out, I think like it's actually on the page. I had that all figured out, but I think it's like if you did every 2 minutes, I think there's like 350 bids available. So really, that's not a whole lot. So people really don't have to bid a whole lot if they only did it every 2 minutes for the first phase, and then every 30 seconds, and then every 10 seconds. So if you actually rode that 5 hours out, there's really not a whole lot of bids. But if you bid every second, like I said, that's potential for 18,000 bids in 5 minutes. So from minimum to maximum amount of bids, really you can win it with minimum amount of money. But then also it could take a lot of money if well, not a lot, $1,000 is the maximum, but so it could take $1,000 if you were bidding consistently, and then also 5 free bids possible. So you never know. The opportunity's there, and this is going to help a lot of people to be able to get properties without having to have any money or capital or job. Now also we're going to have a lot of advertisers that are on our site that you can actually, like there's moving companies and Rocket Mortgage, all them kind of places we might have on our site. We're going to, use various ones. I can't say, I guess I probably shouldn't say Rocket Mortgage because I don't know if I will or not, but I'm just saying similar mortgage companies like that. And then so if you use our we will have affiliates on there so that we actually get a commission for the advertising, and there'll be things related to properties and stuff like that. So things that you would use, like I said, moving companies, mortgage companies, all that kind of stuff. Realtors to sell it, maybe. There'll be a lot of different advertisements on the website that actually go along with it. And then we also have a platform token called Auction the Keys. It's ATC on Pump Fund and ATK on letsbank.fund. So those platform tokens every property sold will be $2,000 per property will go into buying the tokens, which will increase the the value of those tokens. So even if you wanted to, there'll be some links in here to buy some of the tokens. So eventually the values of those tokens will go up, and it'll be able to make a little side cash with them too. All right. Also contact us, any questions, and auctiontokeys.com. Hope to see you soon. It's going to be a lot of fun.